local, late breaking. This is a special edition of KEZI 9 News. Your voice, your vote.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you. I love you guys.
Oregon Governor Kate Brown has been re-elected, defeating Republican challenger Knute Buehler in a heated race tonight. Thank you for joining us for this special edition. I'm Matt Templeman.
And I'm Renee McCullough. Right now, Brown is leading with 50% of the vote. Buehler, as you can see there, has 44%. And KEZI 9 News anchor China Green is live tonight in the studio with what both Brown and Buehler had to say tonight. China?
Yeah, Matt and Renee. Oregon Governor Kate Brown has been re-elected, winning her first full term as the leader of Oregon. During the campaign, Brown ran on a platform of guiding Oregon through an unstable period while making progress on some of the biggest challenges facing the state, like minimum wage increase and infrastructure package. Buehler attacked Brown for failed leadership in other areas, such as rising PERS costs and a low high school graduation rate. But voters decided to go with Brown.
This election shows that when our values are on the ballot, Oregonians will come together and fight like hell to stand up for what we believe in.
And Oregonians, quite frankly, have decided that my voice will not be leading this state for the next 4 years, and I certainly accept that decision. But also, let's be very clear. The status quo in this state is not tolerable. It will not sustain the state.
And Brown beat Republican Knute Buehler, who proved to be a strong challenger in a state where the GOP has had a difficult time winning high-profile offices. Now, Brown was first appointed governor in February of 2015 after John Kitzhaber resigned. Then she was elected in 2016 to finish out the term. Live in the studio, China Green, KEZI 9 News.
All right, thank you, China. Let's get to some of the other results tonight. For U.S. Congress incumbent Peter DeFazio easily defeated Republican Art Robinson in the 4th District with 57% of the vote. This is the 5th time now that DeFazio has beaten Robinson. And we do have teams in the field who have been following these local races all night.
Yeah, KEZI 9 News reporter Michael Severin is standing by live at the Republican Watch Party. But first, we go to Madison Glassman live at the Democratic Watch Party tonight. Madison.
Matt, Renee, don't let this scene of things clearing out here at the Valley River Inn fool you. It was a nonstop celebration tonight for Oregon Democrats as Governor Kate Brown secured another 4 years as governor. You could barely hear yourself think as Congressman Peter DeFazio got up and spoke after winning re-election and defeating Republican Art Robinson for the 5th time. DeFazio is on his way to becoming chairman of the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee.
We're going to have more than 100 women serving the United States House of Representatives, first time in the history of our country. We're going to have, a majority in the House to begin to exercise the rights under the Constitution of the 3rd independent branch, the legislative branch, where the Republicans have been total doormats for the Trump administration.
There was an uproar of applause when Democrats here tonight learned that about 63% of voters rejected Measure 105 and about 65% of voters rejected Measure 106. Now, during Peter DeFazio's speech, he said tonight Democrats in Oregon will celebrate, but tomorrow it's back to work for them. Reporting live in Eugene, I'm Madison Glassman, KEZI 9 News.
All right, thank you so much, Madison. We're going to check in now with KEZI 9 News reporter Michael Severin, who's live at the Republican Watch Party tonight. Michael?
Yeah, Matt, Renee, organizers here at the Republican Watch Party tell me it's been a very disappointing night for them, but they're still looking forward to election 2020. Now, at last check, no major Republican candidates have won their races, including Art Robinson, who lost to Peter DeFazio for U.S. Representatives, and Knute Buehler, who, as you know, now lost to Governor Brown. Now, voters I spoke to say they hope Governor Brown listens to Buehler's supporters as she goes into her next term. And while they may have not had a strong showing in this race, they believe the economy is doing strong and they can do better come 2020.
Yeah, it's disappointing. But we look to the future, and we'll see what we can do to improve things. And we still have, as I said, a good economy.
Now, organizers tell me they're happy to see a lot of levies and bonds passed around the county. They say President Trump's pro-growth policies has spurred generosity in the community, and with Republicans gaining seats in the Senate, they believe more growth will happen. But again, a disappointing night for Lane County Republicans here. But they are, however, pleased that a measure for star voting appears to have failed. Reporting live in Eugene, I'm Michael Severin, KEZI 9 News.
All right, thank you very much, Michael. And we want to get now to those controversial state measures, most of which have gone down to no votes.
Yeah, the lone exception is Measure 102, which is passing with 56% of the vote. It has to do with affordable housing. It will make it easier for local governments to work with partners to build and preserve affordable homes.
Measure 103 is failing with 58% of the votes going no. It would have prohibited a tax or fees on groceries. A yes vote would prohibit a sales tax. A no vote means the state and local governments keep the power to tax those groceries. Supporters say a tax on groceries would hit people who cannot afford it, and they would hit them hard. Opponents say it's not needed because there is no existing tax.
All right, Measure 104 has also failed with 66% voting no. It would have expanded the requirements for a 3/5 legislative majority to approve bills that raise revenue. Those who voted yes supported making a change to the Constitution. A no vote meant that you want the law to stay like it is.
Moving to Measure 105, which has to do with federal immigration laws, it got only 37% of the vote tonight. It would have repealed the law that limits the use of state or local law enforcement resources to enforce the laws. Now, right now, the law prohibits state agencies from asking a person's immigration status if they have not committed another crime.
Measure 106 also failed with 64% of voters rejecting the amendment, which would have prohibited spending public money on abortions. Now, Oregon is one of 17 states that uses public money for abortions. If it would have passed, Measure 106 would have stopped that.
All right, here in Lane County, Measure 2290, which would have adopted star voting, it is also failing tonight. As Michael mentioned, 53% voting against it. If passed, it meant there would be no primary, and voters would rank candidates from 0 to 5. The person with the highest score simply wins.
Now, voters did approve that $319 million bond measure for the Eugene 4J School District. They will replace 3 schools and make improvements to just about every other school in the district. Right now, it is passing with a near 2-to-1 margin, 66% yes vote tonight, and then 34% against the school bond. KEZI 9 News reporter Tyler Jones tonight is live in the studio with reaction from some very happy 4J officials. Tyler.
Yeah, Renee, Measure 2297 would cost the owner of a $200,000 home about $135 a year. But so far, voters are saying that they're willing to pay that money to better the 4J district. And if those numbers hold up, it will mean a number of improvements in the 4J district. Officials say it would fund improvements at all 4J schools, replace aging buildings, make repairs and updates to schools that are more than 50 years old, update classroom materials, and make safety and security improvements to those schools.
It's phenomenal to have this endorsement of our schools, the work we're doing, the needs we have. We have no money to do things like build a new North Eugene High School, repair our roofs. So anything that we didn't have from this bond, we'd have to take it out of the classroom.
While the numbers do look promising, several people at this evening's watch party are still holding their breath, waiting until the final numbers come in before they celebrate. And aside from those few, nothing but elated smiles from educators in the 4J district this evening. The 4J school board will be discussing proposed timelines and hopeful completion dates at their board meeting tomorrow night. Live in the studio, Tyler Jones, KEZI 9 News.
All right, thank you very much, Tyler. More than 62% of voters across the state of Oregon turned in their ballots. That is a high number for an election year. In Benton County, 74% of people voted. In Coos County, turnout is at 64%. In Douglas County, a little bit lower at 60%. 65% turned in their ballots in Lane County, and in Lynn County, turnout is at 60% tonight. So let's take a look at some other commissioner races now across our area.
Yeah, for East Lane County Commissioner, Heather Buck is beating incumbent Gary Williams with 56% of the vote so far. In Douglas County, it is too close to call the winner of the county commissioner race there. Tom Kress has 38% of the vote, and Alex Scarlatos has 35% right now.
For the Benton County Commissioner race, it is Pat Malone by a wide margin, winning easily with 50% of the vote tonight. For Lynn County Commissioner, it is John Lindsay defeating Gary Mary Sullivan and Stephanie Newton as they squared off tonight.
All right, Decoos County Commissioner position 2, John Sweet, is defeating Kay Iman with 58% of the vote. And Democrats have gained control tonight of the House in Congress. We're going to take a look at how some key races played out across the country coming up.
And we will also check in with how the Oregon House and Senate races are doing and if Democrats could get a supermajority. That's all when KEZI 9 News returns.
But as we head to the break, we want to leave you with a look at some more results from our area.
You're watching KEZI 9 News at 11. Live, local, late breaking.